Alright, Bonehawks, this video is all about Injustice 2, and today we're going over my opinion, 5 worst traits in Injustice 2. My good friend Carl brought this up recently in a conversation. I said, hey, I'm gonna make that, because we were like, who is? And I actually still don't even know, but I'm pretty sure I've pegged these 5 to be at the bottom. In what particular order? Maybe you can help me out. Leave a comment down below on what you think it is. Apologies for missing Injustice Tuesday today. I was updating my capture software, which this is the first video I'm posting to YouTube at 2K, hopefully, if this works out okay. So let me know if you noticed any difference, if you even watch on something that would take advantage of that. But yeah, that being said, we will be live tomorrow night for a regular Injustice Tuesday, which is viewer matches on Xbox, I believe is where we're at. And yeah, for now, just enjoy the short video of the 5 worst traits in Injustice 2, my opinion. Roast me if you need to. Let's get into it.
Accept your death.
Alright, so starting out with Donatello here. So this was the turtle of my choice when I decided to pick up one of the turtles. This was one that I played, and I found his trait had some use. And again, these aren't saying these traits are useless. It's just they're not very useful, especially when a game full of like Batman traits and Atrocitus and Superman traits and all that kind of thing. These just kind of seem like, they can do stuff, but not compared to the rest of the cast. So this, for example, this is a projectile parry. Why would I ever need to use that? Unless you're literally trying to turtle, like literally trying to turtle, in a game with like what is it, like 300 and some odd second timer? I don't think I've ever seen a timeout in a competitive Injustice 2 game. So, and then the moves that he has to try and zone, he just throws himself in front of it anyways. So I'm not really sure what that's about. It is kind of useful to try and get first hit with this kind of a thing, or with this kind of a thing. Well, I mean, that's useful, I guess. But if the only time you're going to use this is right at the start of the round where it's very predictable, and Superman can just flying punch you right in the face, say, actually, yeah, I'm going to get first hit here. I don't know how good that is. The vacuum thing is kind of cool. Like, I feel like you could kind of use that the way that Quan Chi uses his push-away portal, MK1, where somebody tries to start a string and it kind of pulls them out of it and then you can whiff punish them. That's probably the most useful thing here, in my opinion. But yeah, all in all, not on par with any of the other traits, in my opinion. Blow me up if you need to. Maybe you know some secret tech. Maybe this right here leads to an infinite. I don't even know that. Doubtful, but try me. Next up is the Joker, and they basically took his trait from Injustice 1, which was linked to a parry. You had to hit 3 parries and then you got the buff, and they just took the parry away. So now you just do a little animation. First one, okay, not so bad. Second one, yeah, a little bit of crazy recovery. The third one, you're stuck there for literally 80 frames. And again, he might have some setups for this, for things that I'm not sure. I'm not a Joker main, or never even played the character. But that seems like a lot, just to be able to move fast. And he does go fast, and I think there'd probably be more shenanigans with the cross-ups here than anything. What was interesting to me, though, is he can do another 80 frame recovery to completely refill it again at the top. So maybe there is some setups here. I've never seen them. I've never seen anyone even attempt to use them. So I'd have to go back and see. I know Sonic Fox did play some Joker towards the end of the game's life, but I have not seen anything of substance with the trait to make it really that scary to me, or even memorable, I'll say. I feel like I would remember something like that. So heightened movement or good utility might not be the most powerful thing to use. And I would say probably a bottom 5. Where in the bottom 5, though, depends on, I suppose, what he can do with this. Again, I've never seen it used. I've never seen it exploited, so maybe you know something I don't. Maybe it leads to an infinite. I'm just kidding. Oh boy, I'm on something today. Next up is Wonder Woman, and one of the reasons I have this here is because it is extremely hard to strategize around this because it's random. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know exactly if it's in a matchup that it's useful in. And one of these things like this Hail Hermes right here is that you only have the air dash when you have this buff. If I'm playing against Wonder Woman and I see her get this buff, I know she can air dash, at least until this meter is drained completely. So there's really not much of a, it's an easy read for me to be like, okay, you're going to air dash here because you have this, you know, or you're going to do your lasso moves because you have your lasso one. It's easier for me to read it on top of it already being RNG as it is. These buffs are good, don't get me wrong, they definitely add stuff. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not saying these traits are useless, they're just not very useful. So this is kind of on my list of like, hey, oh, now she's going to air dash at me, oh. Wonder when, and meter burn back 3, and then you're ready for meter burn back 3 because you know that's that limited window where she can only air dash, and if you start abusing it, now she's stuck with that buff until it drains out, and now she has to wait to build another one. So yeah, again, these aren't in any particular order. I don't know where you would put this, but this definitely feels like a bottom 5. 2 turtles in one list, yep, I'm doing it. Next up is Raphael here, and this trait takes forever to get active. So you might, just playing through, I will say this character does have some pretty crazy mix. You know, you can kind of cancel that into the for low overhead. So like there is that. But I mean, you have to do this 5 times in order to get the trait active. Like between everything happening, you're probably only going to get the trait once a game. Unless you're really going hard for it, like using meter on it. Which you can do to get 2 of them. Get the 3rd one. That's 2 bars. Just to 2. You're trading meter for your trait. That's not very good in and of itself. So, I mean, that right there kind of speaks to... You do get some nice damage out of it. I don't know any combos, so I'm not going to pretend to do one. But that's just the damage from just the trait itself. On its own, you're doing all this, trying to get your trait up, and even if you don't know any combos, it'll give you a nice 232 damage. And you don't even have to learn a combo. Well, there's that. And last on this list is Deadshot, mostly just because this character sucks. Like, he was, I mean, if you know, you know. You remember the good old days of every top 8 just being Deadshots. But they nerfed him so bad that now even buffing his projectiles isn't going to save him. Because he just can't get that game going to begin with anymore. So it's just unfortunate that everything about Deadshot just sucks right now, you know? The trait is not a bad idea. It actually works quite well in strategy, but unfortunately with just the tools that this character has, he can't really abuse it the way that he used to, which I suppose is by design. Yeah, I remember Insomniac and I did a video once about how, like, Deadshot just loses to walking in at him. Like, even if he hits you with a projectile, the hit advantage and whatnot is just not good enough to just stop you from just walking in on him. And he's not even that great up close anymore either. He's got some stuff, you know, but he's just not the character he once was, which is kind of sad for me to see, you know? The fall from grace. I actually don't feel that bad. This character was really stupid at one point in time. I want to take this moment to give a shout out to these 2 characters. Not worst traits, but the most annoying traits. Like, you knew if you were at like 0.1 health and Black Adam whipped his balls out, it was game over. It was done. Likely with Scarecrow, you know, if you had 0.1 health and you decided just to gas it up, you know, go full Taco Bell on your ass, game over. You're done. That's what it was. You had 0 chance of a comeback. Maybe like a point. Your chance of a comeback was as much health as you had against these 2 characters. Super annoying. Great traits, fantastic traits, but annoying, and you should feel bad for using them. Just kidding. It's a video game. For fun. And that's it. My 5 worst traits in Injustice 2. Did I get the order right? Did I get it wrong? Am I completely out to lunch on what you think would be the worst traits in this game? Let me know in the comments down below. Because I'd like to hear it. You know, maybe you know something I don't. Maybe there's an infinite out there that I didn't know. That being said, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't. We make new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks, all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonehawks in the next video.
Accept your death.